We of ImpeachForPeace.org believe in freedom of speech. We believe in giving opportunity to dissenting voices. And in that spirit, we've invited Malcolm Bosman of Patriots for Corporate Rights, who is going to convince you, he thinks, that there's good reason to support these Republicans. And we will leave him to hang himself with his own words. Mr. Bosman.
Thank you, Michael. It's obvious from looking at this crowd today that the polls that are showing an increase in hippie leftist thinking are not overstated. So, as Michael said, I'm here on behalf of Patriots for Corporate Rights to correct some of your extremist notions and hopefully convert some of you cream puffs. There are many reasons to support the Republican Party. Liberals want to analyze problems and cooperate to find solutions. Now, Republicans know we need to act immediately. Liberals want to plan for a future that may never happen, while Republicans know we need to do what it takes to make sure we have control now. Now, I want to take a moment to note that I think this venue is highly appropriate to the discussion we're having here. There's an old saying that goes, good fences make good neighbors. Because yes, the kind of America we want to create is a segregated America. Fences will protect our borders. Fences will keep disruptive protesters away from the engines of democracy. Fences in gated communities will keep the rich from those who choose to be poor by not working hard enough. Fences will incarcerate those who are violent or who steal property from those who have inherited it rightfully. Furthermore, metaphorical fences around our minds will keep us from being poisoned by the ideas of our adversaries. By shutting down communication, we will protect ourselves. Metaphorical fences around families will keep those families educating their own children and not making their children susceptible to the collectivist values of public education. Another reason to support the Republican Party is that it's the only one that understands the importance of personal responsibility. I'd like, if I may, to quote Obama's recent speech, because he hit on something very important about this, if only by accident. Obama said, "In Washington, they call this the ownership society, but what it really means is you're on your own. Out of work? Tough luck. No health care? The market will fix it. Born into poverty? Pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, even if you don't have bootstraps. You're on your own." Now, Obama hit it right on the head. He may not realize it, but his speech reveals that on some level, even he knows that an ownership society is better, because it's better even when you fail, because when you do, you can own your failure. So, the Republican Party's support of segregating parts of our society is enough reason to support Republicans, as is the concept of the ownership society. But an even better reason is that Democrats don't want war as much as the Republicans want it. Now, much is made of the WMDs that weren't found in Iraq. Much is made of the lack of link between Hussein and bin Laden. But we say it takes a great leader to make an important war happen by saying whatever is necessary, whether or not the facts support that. There are some things more important than the truth, just as there are some things more important than civil liberties, control, security, and prosperity. But how can we guarantee our security and encourage prosperity? The answer is clear: preemptive war. There are terrorists everywhere, and the world is such a dangerous and war-torn place that new terrorists are being created every day. We need to stop them, and the only way to put an end to their terror is to go to war. After all, we are not going to be safe from terrorism until we dominate the entire world. That means preemptive invasion of every country that may possibly, at some point in the future, be a threat to us. One country at a time. 9/11 changed everything. Not only did the terrorists destroy over $40 billion worth of property that day, when the towers fell and all those workers died, they caused massive amounts of employee turnover and killed 3,000 consumers who could even now be stimulating the economy. How can we not invade? Do not doubt for a second that we have every right to take what belongs to us. Now, some speak of cooperation with other countries in the service of our mutual interests, but other countries don't have our national interests in mind. Is France going to help us take the natural resources in the Middle East that belong to us? Are the Dutch? How about the Swiss? No, the very idea is laughable. We are entering a new American century, where if we are to protect ourselves, we need to dominate the entire world. But the true genius of this war is that it is creating profit for our country by shrinking the size of government. Consider this. Every dollar that we spend on this war is a dollar we won't spend on welfare and education. Conservatives have made a concentrated effort over the years to maximize our war returns by funneling government money directly to private interests through mercenary armies, construction contracts, and the privatization of formerly nationalized foreign resources like oil and water. Even better, if you take a look at this war in comparison to other wars in recent memory, this one is much more moral. Let's take Vietnam. Certainly, American corporations benefited from Vietnam, but if you compare the 58,000 soldiers who died there to the 4,000 who have died in Iraq, we're getting a much better return on our investment now. Now, some may say that this is a cold way of thinking about war. However, consider the human element here. By reducing deaths, we have actually increased our profits considerably. If you compare the amount of money spent in Vietnam per dead soldier to the amount of money spent in Iraq per dead soldier, the return on our investment now is about 75 times greater. Economically profitable? Sure, but also more humane. Now, it's worth noting that in this system of warfare, we have a strong incentive to reduce soldier deaths because fewer casualties means a stronger army for future invasions and more public support for those invasions. Furthermore, this system ensures that the death of every soldier has meaning, because what could be more meaningful in a capitalist society than record profits? Now, some complain we weren't welcome in Iraq. We weren't embraced with open arms. I remind them this occupation is not over, and for that matter, there are many more countries in our preemptive sights. So I say, be patient. It is never too late to be greeted as liberators. Thank you for listening. Now, if you moonbats want to expand your mind behind all these liberal platitudes, then you can check out corporaterights.org. Thank you.